Welcome to the Voice of Women podcast with the purpose to empower women and disrupt the gender gap. I am your host, Priya Kandula. Hi, I am Priya Kandula, Director at Codeforce 360 and Leadership Coach for Women in Technology. How many times have you made a suggestion in a meeting only to be overlooked? And when the same suggestion was repeated by a male colleague, it was acknowledged and even applauded. Yes, we women have faced this many a times in our careers. Rihanna Duncan made a cartoon back in 1988 for Punch magazine, and the cartoon is called Miss Trix Experience. The cartoon has five men and Miss Trix sitting in a boardroom around a table, and the caption reads, Miss Trix, that's an excellent suggestion, but maybe one of the men here can make it. There is a word for it, and it is called Hepeating. Hepeating is the act of overlooking a suggestion a woman makes and acknowledging the same suggestion made by a man. This word was coined in 2017 by astronomer and physics professor Nicole Gulucci. Nicole Gulucci tweeted, and that tweet became viral within a couple of hours. And the tweet reads, quote, my friends are women who work in various industries like tech, gaming, science, and we were discussing this phenomenon lately. One of my friends came up with Hepeated, and we thought it was pretty funny. Hepeating happens even today. The purpose of this podcast is not to point fingers at anyone. The purpose of this podcast is to bring about awareness around the concept of Hepeating. And I would like to suggest 3 ways of combating Hepeating in a workplace. The first one is called micro-sponsorship. Micro-sponsorship is when we as a team can vouch for each other when Hepeating takes place in a meeting. Just being vigilant on who made the original suggestion and acknowledging the person can go a long way. Both men and women can be micro-sponsors. The second is simply to include more women in the meeting so that they can back each other up. And the third is to vouch for yourself. You can confront the repeater and tell them that they do not need them to repeat the suggestion that you made. These 3 simple yet powerful ways can help us make women voices be heard more in workplaces. I hope that these 3 simple steps help you combat Hepeating in your future meetings. One thing I want to point out here is the repeaters are probably not even aware that they're doing this. It comes from a history of cultural biases. So I would like to suggest that just by being aware and confronting our repeaters can go a long way in changing the culture at workplaces. I hope that this podcast has brought value to you, and I would love to hear about any comments or suggestions how this podcast has helped you or any experiences where you have been repeated and how you have confronted them. Thank you so much for your time. I am truly grateful to you for taking the time to listen, learn, and share today. Please do share it with your friends and family if you got any value from it. Stay tuned for more stories, insights, and tools to empower each other. Let's break the glass ceiling together.